Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Conejo Valley Visionaries, a weekly podcast spotlighting the people and stories behind your favorite Conejo Valley businesses. I'm your host, Cristina Dennstedt. In today's episode, you'll hear from Guddy Wit, an interior designer and functional organizer based in Thousand Oaks. We dive into Guddy's transition from a corporate career to launching her own business, the importance of functionality and design, and the challenges of being a female entrepreneur. Plus, Guddy shares her best tips for creating a relaxing home environment and making the most of your space. Whether you're a first-time entrepreneur or looking to improve your living space, this conversation has something for everyone. If you enjoy this episode and find value in the podcast, please leave us a 5-star review and rating. This helps more people find the podcast, and therefore each story can reach more folks in the Conejo Valley. Please enjoy. Hi, Guddy. Welcome to Conejo Valley Visionaries.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for, we're doing something special today. Normally we record this podcast virtually, but I figured since you are the genius behind reorganizing my home into a functional, beautiful space, we would do it in front of the podcast gallery wall you helped create. So that is why we were doing it in person. Thank you for everything, but helping me get the space into a place where I feel comfortable to host a podcast in.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
For me, it's also special because I never talk on videos or something like this.
Yes, I know. So a first time for you and for me doing it from here. So, Guddy, I know you listen to your podcast listener, not only a friend. So we know each other via Thermomix again, another connection through Thermomix. And we used to work together. And then you went off and started your own design business. You have a background in interior design. We'll talk about all of that. But then you are now doing functional organizing, designing, and you've been helping me with my home for spring cleaning. So that's kind of like the genesis of the interview. But as we always like to do, we want to know, what did you want to be when you grew up, and what did you end up studying in school?
What I want to be when I grow up, I guess it was design. Yeah. So my mom was a seamstress, and my both grandpas and some uncles was in the design business. And I always saw this. And my family was
Clothing design?
clothing design.
Okay.
And one was a hairdresser, and everybody was always making everything pretty. And my mom was really especially hands-on. My dad did everything by themselves, and I saw this how you can do a lot of little things to make your home better. And then I know, I don't want to learn from my mom sewing.
No, but wants to learn from their mom. Let's get that.
But I remember sneaking out fabric and just try to make my own princess dresses. And so this is how it started, I believe, to make something special. And she always did out of her old clothes something pretty for me. And it was just magic what she could do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how it started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you already had that bug when you were a kid. And then did you end up going to fashion school or design school?
So yeah, it was always what do I want to do? Then I worked in sales and figure out selling with my words is not what I want to do. And then I found out there was I went to business school, and then to in Germany it's a 3 years design school, merchandise school. And when I worked in sales, there was always every few weeks came a team and just started from the beginning and made everything pretty, windows, design, layouts. And then sometimes they hired somebody who changed all the layouts, and it's this looks good. I want to do this. And then it was okay, but I'm always was that's the reason we met us. Cooking was I love just everything feels good, tastes good, looks good. This is me.
All the important things in life.
Yeah.
So you were right. So you had you saw the interest in not only design, but then you were attracted to the visual merchandising part of it.
Yes.
And did you end up pursuing that?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, so I went to a school for 2 years and added a couple more evening classes. Started to be I could be a teacher in Germany to teach this lessons. I never did, but I got the degrees. And I was in charge of trainees, and because we have the different system than here. But I didn't teach in person. 20s. But actually, I did this for a long time. Uh, but yeah, back then I started like in a big company, was working for them. We changed the whole shop, like we painted, decorated, built. So that's like the guy I worked with. He was just amazing, a handyman and visual person. And then I worked for a tiny little company, and we did everything. We did from renovation, like little tiny shops. We painted walls. We created a new bakery. We painted train station with these.
So it wasn't just
murals.
purely retail spaces. It was
No, it was everything. It's like I went to fashion shows. I created fashion shows, displays. We dressed up the models. It was from styling to, I would not say I'm good with makeup, but sometimes we have to fix the makeup.
Yeah.
Like, and it's totally not my passion, makeup. So it was like just a tiny little company, and we just did what came up. And then I started to work for a worldwide company. And then I started, like after 6 months, I started to train other people how to do this. And then I worked my way up to a district manager for merchandise. And we opened up a lot of shops, a lot of, redid old shops. And my passion is more or less really the working with what you have than a new build. It was interesting and it was nice and it was also pretty, and you all see the new trends and everything.
Yeah.
But really, my heart is what you have and bring it over. And I think now, after like leaving the company, because growing up, like I came here to the States for my husband's job, and I got two now teenager girls. Yeah. So, and even the teenager girls, like, or like the kids expiring, is like, okay, this is not working with kids. What is really working with is like we had a 2-level house, and it was just the little things makes me thinking like, okay, the bathroom for kids to go up and down to brush their teeth is it's a hassle.
They will never brush their teeth.
They never want to brush
Yes.
their teeth, and then do an extra way for brushing the teeth is just not working. So I brought the toothbrush downstairs and make it like a little different, and like having fun to do all this source, like the stuff they have to do. And then, you find a way, like this is like the stuff doesn't like has to work for your family and not the family has to work for the stuff.
No, I like that. And so, and I think it's interesting because, you have this merchandising, visual background, fashion background. You moved to the United States for your husband's job, moved out to Conejo Valley.
Yes.
And
And my husband is from North Carolina. He's like a German American mix.
okay, good.
So that's the reason we came here and
Okay.
stayed.
Yes, right. But then I like to know, at what point did you want to start your own business? It sounds like maybe you were kind of in your own life experiencing how design could make your household run smoother or more functional. At what point did you say I could do this for other people?
So I started back in the days, short time a styling business, but it never came through because then I got a better job offer and was not going to the self-employed craziness. And then here it was really like when I quit at our job, um, I was like actually started Instagram to post recipes because we both worked for a Thermomix. It's a kitchen and blinding, and has it. And then I just started to post what I redo with my house. Like my house is not my dream house, but I make it to my dream house. So and then step
Like
by
you said, you
step,
work with what you have.
work with you,
Yeah.
and make it to the best with what you have.
Yeah. And then where you quit the previous employer, started posting on Instagram, and what is, I know one of the things we've talked about is like, how do you sort of brand your business? How do you like to describe it to people?
I really like, for me, it's important that the function the design, the organization works together. For me, it's always the design is amazing, but it's the cherry on top. If you are declared or like you have too much stuff in your house, the best furniture doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And if you have a good organization, you can work it. You have the things on the right spot in the phase you are in. You're right now into having little kids, and we're working with all the little kids things right now in her house. But I have teenager. We have like a totally different
Sure.
things. We have a dog. We like to play on the ground. That's like we talked about it. I don't have a coffee table because we need the space for playing with the dog.
Right.
So it's like, what is working for you? What is really important for you? What do you want to achieve? And like, it's starting always with the story. What do you want and how do you want to live? This is the most important thing.
No, and I have witnessed your magic when you come in and are able to, you ask questions as part of the process, how do you want to live? What are your needs? But then you very quickly could come into a space and um, understand what is needed from a functional perspective and have ideas on how to move things around. And I really appreciated that, and you work very quickly in that way. You are not one. I was saying, when I shared something on social media, I'm like, I'm a let me think about it kind of person. And you're like, where's my screwdriver? I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And it's good because sometimes you have to have somebody, for lack of a better word, push you to make that move, and then you can live with it. And that's what we've done. And I think, as an example, in this space, this is my office slash meditation room, Pilates room slash like guest room. And it was reoriented and storage, and it was reoriented a different way. You came in, you helped me, and we moved things around. I have a standing treadmill, or like a walking treadmill, walking pad underneath my desk, and a standing desk. And you're like, you can't have the desk up against the wall. So we pushed it to the other side, moved my couch here. But I lived with it for a week or two, and I didn't love it because it felt off balance. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, the desk was on this side, and then whatever. And he said, that's okay. Let's try something else. We moved it over. And I think it's true. You kind of have to like live in it. It's like, how do you move things around functionally? You don't have to buy anything new, but how do you like experience it? And then you can continue to tweak as you go.
Yeah, he was like really like, what is she doing? And then I noticed she's always moving for her podcast in the kitchen. So
Yep.
she's losing time. So it's not working for her. Her office is not working for her job. So, and then we had the guest room. Okay, we need a comfortable, cute when the guests are coming, and we have to figure out how we storage things so it's not cluttered. So we had like a lot of things going on and use this as a relaxing yoga room.
Right.
And like running because you have your treadmill. And so like these are little things. And I think we achieved this and with two tests and
Right. And very quickly, I don't want to, it's not to overemphasize speed, but I think what I have hesitated to working with an interior designer or bringing somebody in is this idea that somebody will come in and give me ideas, which I'm an idea person. I need somebody who helps me execute. And I think you have married those two things of like, you've got the good ideas, but you're also in that same moment making it happen, which I really value because it's not only saving me time. I don't have to go back and forth, but also it gives really practical updates in a fashion that's like makes sense.
yeah, usually I start with a lot of questions with pictures. So I'm already in the space and then I'm trying to figure out. Actually, you didn't send me pictures of this space, but I came here and said, this is wrong. Her lights are not like in her face and she has the door in her back. So I'm trying to figure out like it's a little bit you like there are so many studies you can follow. Like you have Marie Kondo from cleaning, you have the feng shui. And if you bring all the little things together and nothing has to be perfect from every aspect, but it has to work for you.
Yeah.
And then we figure this out. And then you live inside and then you tell me, is it working or is it not? That's usually I come out like I get pictures, then I send out questions, then we talk on the phone, and then I come out and then we easily go answer like I see the space. I'm really trying to go in every room to figure out what kind of furniture do you have, what can we use, what does she needs, and this is how I start and action.
Yes. And then you come back and you look and you say, Christina, you haven't been doing that, or you have been doing it. So it's good. You keep me accountable, which, we have accountability coaches for like career coaching and for therapy. And I do think an accountability coach, in a way, for your home and your organization also makes you, sort of forces you to, be honest with it. So I appreciate that too.
And it makes so much like
Progress.
progress.
Yes, which is what we need. And then you can like live in it. Um, what have you found has been the most sort of, I guess, surprising part of running your own business?
Oh, running my own business. Um, that I know what I'm doing with my job. I'm good in my job, but to get out of the world and figure out how to explain what I'm doing because it's so much. Like there's like always the elevator pitch, and like to tell this in 5 seconds what I'm doing is really, really hard because like if you think about interior designer, they think, oh, I don't want one. They just cost money and buy a lot of furnitures and wants just to make it pretty. But then, yeah, but it's not me.
Yeah.
So I try to use what you have and work with what you have. And then, really, at the end, it's like a couple of things. And some people, I just say, you need less and you need more. And, but like to run my own business is really get out in the world. And yeah.
No, it's interesting. There's a question that came up just within the podcast community about imposter syndrome. And I've talked to a couple women recently who we sort of are confident in what we're doing and we know we're good at it, but the challenge is actually acquiring new customers or getting the word out and like making sure that people understand what we're doing. So I think it's a universal problem, and in some ways social media and content make that easier to do, but can also be overwhelming. Have you found that to be true?
Oh yes, yeah, sure. And like I'm just posting on Instagram, and like Instagram is doing the same on Facebook, and it's just like the week I'm really busy, I don't post because I don't have anything like any time because I have my teenager kids. I'm the taxi driver, and all these and the week I'm really busy, I don't post.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I think we as women we don't ask for help.
Mm.
So we're trying to manage everything until we figure out, oh, we cannot do everything, and like to figure out what can we optimize. Like I help to optimize your life, so that who can help me to optimize mine. And I just talked with my friend; she's a designer, and she's like, yeah, the guys just hire people, and we just
Yeah, right. Or like, oh, we can take it on. Yeah, into like our detriment sometimes. No, that's a good point. I know it's I do think sometimes there can be a challenge of either delegating or bringing in additional people because we think it's going to be an added expense or something. But in the reality, sometimes investing in those things end up making your life easier.
so much
Even
easier.
somebody, like you're exactly like you come in and you help organize stuff and you save me time and energy and all that stuff, in a sense, makes you have more of it. So
Yeah.
what do you see for like the vision of for your company?
The vision of my company is for sure I can support myself. This is like a big thing. I I was always by myself and I can do everything. And then I moved here, could barely speak the language. And my husband had to go with me to the doctor offices. And so I grew out of this. But yeah, just to be on myself if something happens. Yeah. I want to do this. And sure, like supporting other people with what I do. And when we are done with this job, I know like a house is always like a business to keep up. It's never ending. And but just I know I did a good job.
Yeah.
To leave the house, the customer, even if we just tackled one room and just did a little bit just to see a smile and they're happy if they invite me back and this makes me really like useful.
Good. No, I love that. And I do feel like in your line of work, you're able to see the impact it has pretty quickly, which is nice.
And so that's huge. So it makes me so happy. That's the reason like this is like just design is for me nice to buy for somebody nice furniture and rearrange this and do a little bit of put here a candle onto your light and to see the whole thing. Like if you go and see the all these homemaking shows, they look pretty. It's like you go in a shop and it looks all fantastic, but there's no stuff. And we need our stuff.
Right. Yes.
We have to
Well,
reuse
you're practical in that, knowing that, especially as somebody with children or just all of us, we have things. It's not, you can't put everything in a closet
no.
and make it look so minimalist. I mean, I guess some people could, but it's not as functional. It has to still work for you.
Yeah, and I'm not like I'm not against minimalism and I'm not a pro maximalism. You have to have the right amount of things for the space you have.
Right.
If you have a small space, you cannot have everything. If you have a big space, it's same. Like you can have not enough to make it really comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's it's like a back and forth
Right.
between both worlds.
For those of us who are thinking about spring cleaning, are there maybe a couple of tips that you give somebody as they are approaching it?
Start with the entrance. What do you see in the entrance? It's like if you come in and see a lot of shoes laying around, or what is you bothering you? Like start with what you bothered you. And for me, it's like always, okay, I want to come home and feel relaxed. It's my relaxing home, so I don't want to see 4 pairs of shoes. So I have to find a solution for this.
Yeah.
And then like keep the counter clean is always the first thing. It's not probably spring cleaning, it's daily routine. And spring cleaning is like make a list what's bothering you in your house and work on this step by step. Like I have a couple rules in my house. Like I want, if you call me and you tell me you're in 10 minutes my house, I want this presentable.
Yeah.
So I want to clean up my house in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It will not be perfect, but I will not be ashamed.
Right. Yeah.
This is like a thing with me. And then like the bigger thing is because like my husband got this job and then it was so much work to move here to get rid of all these things. Like for me, it's like I want to sell. If I have to sell my house, I want this done. So I always keep up with like painting jobs. Like every half a year, I go with with the paint color I have in my house, go around and try to fix it. So I don't have like the big list at the end, but I'm like it's not to sell my house. It's also it looks pretty after I paint
Right.
it.
No, it's an upkeep thing.
Yeah, just keep with all the little things and everything it's bothering you, write it down and make a list. Oh, this I can do today. This I can do next week. And then like I'm like ordering things or buying things. Okay, I want to paint my house in 2 weeks, but I have time right now and buy already my stuff. So
you're saying don't wait until the last minute. That's like the core piece of advice there, whether it's keeping your house up, upkeep every so often or not waiting by that Amazon paint or something until the last minute. Makes sense.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to do in the Conejo Valley?
Paddleboarding. And Ventura Harbor, or it's not harbor.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, like what is the we are like the outdoors. We really enjoy going to the water. Like from our house it's 20-25 minutes if the traffic is good.
Yeah. Okay.
This is like for me a dream. Yeah. And the good restaurants.
Do you have a favorite restaurant right now?
Yeah.
Which one?
Vegan Time.
Vegan Time. I have never been there before.
Let's go.
Okay. Oh, I did have a hot tip too. neighborly, the food hall in Westlake that opened recently, they're adding more vegan dishes there. So some more options in there.
Yeah, but vegan time the name codes vegan time right there are just really good. With everybody is not vegan enjoys to go there.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go and check it out. What is one piece of advice you would offer to first-time entrepreneurs?
Keep going. I think figure it out and just do it. And I always say with every job in my life, and I had a lot of jobs, it's always something you don't like, but like this is my passion, and there's like all the administration thing is not really my passion, but I learn how I go and just don't stop, and I hope it comes together.
Excellent advice, applies to everything in life, I think. And I am so proud of what you've created. And I'm so grateful that you've been able to help me as much as you have in my home. And I can only imagine how many more people you will touch in the Conejo Valley and really make their lives run more smoothly and give them a sense of function, but also peace in their home. So thank you for doing everything that you do, Guddy.
Thank you for being here. Of course.
Thank you for listening to Conejo Valley Visionaries. If you like today's episode, make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And don't forget to rate and review us. That's the best way to support the podcast. To enter our giveaways, learn about local events, and to find out more about each guest, follow at Conejo Valley Visionaries on Instagram. If you want to share your visionary story on the podcast, send us an email. We are always open to guest nominations. Email ConejoValleyVisionaries@gmail.com. This episode was produced by Cristina Dennstedt and Justin K. Sloan. Conejo Valley Visionaries is edited by Justin K. Sloan and J.Sloan Productions.